Hey, Drew James here from LearnGuitarInLondon.com, and I'm playing O Carolan's Journey to Cashel. Now, full disclosure, this version comes from a book, a great book that I really enjoyed learning the songs in. It's called Fingerpicking Celtic Folk. It's a Hal Leonard book, and I think this is great. Now, I have made a few adjustments and changes to their version. I'll take you through what they are when we get into the lesson, but it's a really wonderful song that I actually found quite challenging to play. It's really good. Lots of movement up and down the neck. Let's get started learning how to play it. Let's look at the first bar and a half of this one. Okay, so you can see there's quite a bit of movement up and down the neck on this one, and that's one of the challenges that you'll find with this song, especially if you're reading it at the same time. If you're reading it, it can take your eye away from the fret movement, so knowing your fret notes is really important. There's a lot of 3, 5, 7, and then a little bit of 8 in there, so use your white dots that you've probably got on your guitar. On fret 3 you'll have a dot, on fret 5 you'll have a dot, and fret 7 you'll have a dot. Okay, this is fingerstyle guitar. I use a fingerstyle approach based on the classical approach where the thumb plays the top 3 strings, the index finger plays the G string, the middle finger plays the B, and the ring finger plays the E. I like to reference the strings by their note names because I find that that's a little less confusing than calling them numbers, because there's also numbers on the frets as well. So Eddie 8 Dynamite, goodbye Eddie, or come up with your own to learn the note names. So we're starting on 3rd fret on the B string, middle finger's going to play that, then open on the thinnest, and then 2nd fret on the thinnest. Then find fret 3 on the thinnest string with the ring finger and index finger on fret 2 on the D string, and you're going to pinch those 2 notes. Pull them together with the thumb and the ring finger. Open B string. Then you're going to take this ring finger for a walk up the neck. You're going to play the 3 again. You're then going to play 5, move up 2, then move up 2 more to 7, then come back down to 5. So you're taking that finger for a walk. Okay, moving into the next 2 bars. Sorry. Okay. So the next bar here is we've got 3rd fret on the D string, and we're going to pinch those 2 together, then open on the B, then 2nd fret, 3rd fret on the thinnest, 5th fret on the thinnest, then back to 2nd fret. I like to use my index finger for that, so it's again. Next bar. Now if you source out the 3rd fret, stick out the 3rd fret with your ring finger on the A string, pinch the thumb on the A string and ring finger on the open E string. That's your pinch, then middle finger on the B, and then 3rd fret on the B, and then ring finger on the E. Good. So what we'll do is I'll recap. That's the first line done. So let's have a little listen to what that sounds like. Just without the hesitation into bar 3, but that is essentially it. Okay, so from there we move into a B minor. Now I've slightly adjusted one of the times that this happens. Sometimes it would be a full B minor like this, with the bar finger. But for the purposes of this, I think it sounds just as good to have the B minor with just taking an A minor style chord moved up to fret 3. Okay, so that is 3rd fret on the B string and 4th fret on the D and the G. Okay, now what you're going to do is you're going to play that using middle, index, thumb on D, index. Okay. Then take the ring finger, move it down to the 3rd fret on the thinner string, and then move the index finger back to the 2nd fret on the thinner string. So that bar is. Okay, From here, we need to make a relatively brisk chord change that I was finding a little challenging in my performance. We need to make a C chord, and we've got to pinch the A string, G, B, and E to do a big pinch like that. So coming from this chord, bit of practice needed, into that, okay? So really do work on that. Pinky finger then plays 3rd fret on the B string whilst you're holding down this C chord, and then let go with the pinky finger to return to the 1st fret, then open on the B string, 2nd fret on the G, and open on the G. So you can see I'm just moving my middle finger down on the C chord there, okay? Okay, from the bar before. Okay, so it's a little descending melody. Okay, good. We'll go into bar 7 now. We're going to pinch the A string with the thumb and the index finger on the G. And then 2nd fret on the D string. I'm just fretting that out with my middle finger on my fretting hand. And we're going to play that, then we're going to play the thumb on the A by itself, and then the thumb on the D. Then open B, and then 2nd fret on the G string. So it's kind of based on an A minor chord here, but I put my fingers down as and when I need them. You might prefer to actually put down an A suspended 2nd or an A minor, although you do need that B string open, so don't press down with the index finger on your A minor, okay? So coming back to the bar before. Good, moving into bar 8. So we need a B power chord. Now that looks a bit like this. 2nd fret on the A string. Ring finger on 4th fret on the D string, okay? We're going to pinch, thumb on the A string and middle finger on the B. And then we're going to play thumb on that 4, and thumb back on 2. So it's... Then move the index down to fret 2 on the G, then lift up off the G, then 4th fret on the D string again. So it's... I was just thinking you could leave that ring finger there if you wanted to. In fact, it does make sense, but it sounds a little discordant. Okay, finally for this section, before we repeat, we make an E minor chord. So that's 2nd fret on the A string and the D string. I like to use my middle and ring finger for my E minor. Then thumb on D, thumb on A, thumb on E, so you're going backwards. And then we've got 3rd fret on the B, open on the E and 2nd fret. Now at this point in the song, it then repeats back to bar 2, and you do bars 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9 all over again. I didn't do that in my intro performance, just for the sake of time, but that is what you would do. So bar 9, back to this, so on and so forth, and then playing round, okay? Now when you do it the second time, you play bar 9, and this time we're doing something a little bit different. The beginning is the same, so it's fret 2 and fret 3 on the D and the E string, pinching those two, then middle, index, then middle, all on open strings. Then I want you to source out fret 7 on the thinnest string and use your index finger for this, okay? And then finding fret 8 on the thickest string and doing a pinch on the thickest string, index, middle and ring. Now this is another adjustment that I made from the book. The book is suggesting that we're 7 here and we're stretching to the C here. Now it's not impossible to do this, but I find it much more comfortable to play this C note rather than that C note. So that's another change that I've made from the book. So you pinch this, then 5, then 3 on the thinner string. Okay, then we make a D chord, 2nd fret on the G string, 2nd fret on the E string, and 3rd fret on the B string. You're going to pinch all of the strings that you would use to strum in a D chord, so that's thumb on the D string, index, middle and ring. Pinch that together, then thumb on the D, middle finger on the B string, open, so lift up off the thinnest string from your D chord, then put it back and play it on the 2, and then use your pinky finger to play the 3. Okay, recapping, I'm going to go back to the repeat symbol, so this is bar 10. The repeat symbol is just like 2 little dots on the line with 2 black dots in between on between the lines of 2 and 4. Okay, good. Moving into the next bar. So we've got a bit of a stretch, so it's 2nd fret on the A string here, with pinky finger on the 5th fret on the thinnest string, then 3rd fret with the middle finger on the thinnest string, and then I just like to move that middle finger down to do the 2. The whole while, ideally you want to be leaving this note held down to let that bass note ring out, which is what you should be doing with all bass notes if you're slightly more advanced with fingerstyle guitar. Okay, next, we're changing to a C chord as such. What we need is the 1st fret on the B string and the 3rd fret on the thinnest string. And we're going to pinch the G, B and E like this. Notice I'm using my index and pinky finger. That would be ideal. Occasionally I was doing this when I was doing my performance of it, but pinky, index and pinky would be ideal. Then ring finger on 3rd fret on the B string. 3rd fret on the thinnest. Move that pinky finger up to 5, up to 7, and back to 5. Okay, so there's a bit of movement in that bar. Okay, next, move the pinky finger down to the 3rd fret on the thinnest string. Pinch the A string with that 3rd fret. Play the B string. Then 2nd fret on the thinnest. 3rd fret on the thinnest. 5th fret on the thinnest. 2nd fret on the thinnest. The fingers I'm using there are ring, middle, ring, index for the 2. Okay, next bar, 2nd fret on the A string, pinching the thinner string, middle finger on the B, then 3rd fret on the B, I like to use my ring finger for that, and then open on the thinnest. Okay, so backing up a little bit, this is bar 15, and then going into 16. And then once again, in the book, I am borrowing the, in the book it's the B minor like this. But once again, I think the B note does sound nice, don't get me wrong, but I like to just make the 3 and 4 here. So all of the B minor just without the bar. So that's what we had before in bar 5. So that's 3rd fret on the B, 4th fret on the D and the G. Pinching, so middle finger, index, thumb on D, index, middle. Okay, back that up a little bit. Good, moving into the next bar, we've got the 2nd fret on the D string, and you're doing a big pinch on the D string, index, middle and ring. So all thumb, index, middle and ring. Pinching that. Then finding 2nd fret on the thinner string, then a little hammer on and flick off. So using the middle finger, starting with the middle finger lifted up, play it with your ring finger, then hit it down to 2, so slap your callus into the string, then flick it away and pull it off afterwards. That's called a hammer on flick off, or hammer on pull off. Then 3rd fret on the B string, open on the B string, and 2nd fret on the G. Just move the index finger down. And then the next leading bar in here is 2nd fret on the B string, 2nd fret on the G string, open on B, 3rd fret on B, open on E, 2nd fret on E. And this sort of leads us in to repeating the main theme, the main part of the song that we've already played. And then we're going to do bar 20, which is the same as bar 2. 21 is the same as bar 3, so it's a repeat. If you listen carefully, you'll hear that it's the same. So we've already done this. This is the B power chord. And the way this song finishes is we come to the E minor, thumb on the D string, thumb on the A string, G string, middle finger on B, ring finger on E, and then strumming the bottom 4 strings of the E minor. Although I don't think it sounds too bad to strum all of the E minor. Okay, so basically it's a direct repeat. Bars 20, it's the main theme of the song. And when you get to that B power chord, you're playing the same as before. And that's the song, okay? You can then go round and repeat that again if you wanted to. It's entirely up to you. I really hope you've enjoyed it. Once again, the book is absolutely wonderful. The book is called Finger Picking Celtic Folk, and I really, really recommend it. There's some other great songs in there, some that I'm sure you'll know if you know this. Keep on playing. See you for another lesson soon.